What's going on, everybody? Welcome to AfterPrisonShow, and in this video I want to tell you about a guy by the name of Mario Antoine. Now, this is a story that I've wanted to tell you for about a week now because it's been about a week that I've actually known about this guy's story. And as hard as it may be to imagine, this perverted troll-looking little dude here actually used to be a wedding photographer. Now, I'm sure this may sound just a wee bit stereotypical, but when looking at this guy, I mean, this guy fits the absolute criteria for an individual that's definitely going to have some problems in prison. If you can kind of read between the lines of what I'm trying to say this guy looks like, hey, we're trying to get ads on these videos here. But again, this guy was a wedding photographer, and I'm just having a real tough time trying to imagine how a potential bride would want to hire this guy to take pictures of her on her most special, precious day of her life, marrying that soulmate guy that she's going to spend the rest of her damn life with, to take those pictures and memorialize those moments for her. I mean, what I'm really trying to say here is this guy looks like a pedo to the fullest. But I guess it's not in all cases where looks are actually deceiving. Because as it would turn out, this guy was actually scamming those brides.
Antoine continued to deny he'd ever scammed brides, even after a judge convicted him on 9 counts of theft. In fact, he was still on probation from that conviction when the feds started tracking him for new crimes.
This guy continued to deny that he had ever scammed any brides when you had just been convicted back in 2013 of 9 charges related to that? I mean, how does a lower than dirt piece of shit type of person explain a situation like that?
You know, every company's got a few unhappy clients. You know, every company's got a few unhappy clients. You know, every company's got a few unhappy clients.
Well, I guess that's how. And if scamming brides on their wedding days wasn't already bad enough, believe me, it only gets worse from here.
According to the feds, Antoine lured dozens of women into performing sex scenes on camera by telling them that he was the director of porn films.
I mean, just look at this guy right here, this dweeby-looking troll motherfucker who was sitting here at first scamming brides has now escalated to being this con man conning women into thinking that he's some sort of a porn producer. I mean, when I think about a porn producer, I think about a pretty sleazy type of individual. And this guy fits the bill to an absolute T.
He would promise them a big paycheck, but the feds say the money never appeared. According to court records, Antoine would later use the video he shot to blackmail the women into either giving him money or having sex with him.
You know, you gotta really know that you ain't nothing if you gotta try to con women into having sex with you by telling them that you're a porn producer and then later trying to extort them for money or either more sex. And you know, to be truthful with you, I'm glad the feds got their hands on this guy. I hope this guy gets everything coming to him when he gets to prison. And you know, the story goes on to say that this guy was facing 20 years. But he decided to skip the trial, take the plea deal, plead guilty to only one charge, which was wire fraud. And because of that, he was sentenced to 10 years. 10 years in prison for conning women into believing that you were some sort of a porn producer and then extorting them and blackmailing them to have sex with you in exchange for you not releasing those makeshift porn tapes that you made with them. You know, I'm really curious to know how this guy's time in prison will actually be. And I'm not even sure if this really qualifies as a sex offense, and when this guy gets to prison, if he'll be looked at as a sex offender. The sad reality of the situation is there's probably guys that he's going to meet while locked up who actually are kind of impressed by this man's conning ability. And there's a very good likelihood that this could give other prisoners the idea to go home and try to do the same exact thing. But I'm really hoping that's not the case. And when this guy does get to prison, if he's not already there, that he ends up getting treated worse than Jared from Subway. Because even though both of these guys are locked up for 2 completely different things, in my own personal opinion, old Mario Antoine certainly deserves the same kind of treatment. And you know, I'm really curious to know what all of you think about this story. Do you think this guy's like a borderline sex offender? Is this a sex offense? I mean, you're sitting here conning women and then extorting them for sex. In my book, that constitutes some pretty bad stuff. But again, I really want to hear what all of you think about this story. Do you think 10 years was enough? Too much time? I mean, let me know down in the comments section. Hey, look, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did so, please leave a like and a comment letting me know exactly what you thought about it. As always, until next time, enjoy life the free world. Never take a moment for granted, nor ever be a Mario Antoine of your own out there in the world. And make the most of every day. Peace!